Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Franchise Deep Dive with Jake and Josh, the podcast where we dive deep into all of your favorite and least favorite movie franchises. I'm Jake.
And I'm Josh.
And today, before we talk about the topic of today's discussion, we have a guest to introduce. Cade, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Cade. I also have a podcast, and I decided I want to be on this one because I want to talk Batman again.
Hell yeah. We've been looking to do a collaboration for a while now, and it had just kind of so worked out that we kind of agreed to work with Cade here. We're going to be splitting it up, so he's joining us on this episode on our podcast, and then, this episode, and then the next episode where we talk about Batman Returns, I'll be on both of those. And then for Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, we're going to jump over on the Cinemadopes podcast and talk with them over there. So we're very excited and very grateful to have him on this episode. Cade, I know you're a huge Batman fan, so it'll be fun to have an expert here with us in the chat. So
Expert.
I guarantee you know more about Batman than the two of us. Now, I grew up, really loving Batman, and he is one of my favorites, but I got a couple guys above him. But is Batman your favorite superhero, or at least one of them?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, number one.
definitively.
All right, good, because I'm probably the least the lowest expert on the list here with these two, so I might learn something on this episode. I don't know.
Oh hell yeah, and I'm excited to get into it, all of that and everything. Josh, I did mean to ask, speaking of you reading comic books, you showed me that, I don't know if it was like last Christmas or last year, you got a stack of comic books and some pretty good ones. Have you managed to get into any of those yet?
All right, so we can start talking about the movies now. No, I haven't.
Not a single one. Oh, you got some bangers in there, so.
I know. I mean, what, two of them? No, only one of them I read. So, but before I got them. So yeah, I need to get it together, man. I don't know. I don't know how it's already been like a year that I got them. Crazy.
Yeah, Josh, you didn't have any big life events recently. No big life changes. So
Yeah.
get to reading comics. It's not like you got married anytime recently. Okay.
Yeah.
You got all the time in the world.
Oh shit! I forgot to put it on. Whoops. No, dude. It's getting colder now, and the ring is so loose now. It's annoying. I know.
Yeah.
So I've been wearing my silicone one. I don't know, and I forgot to put that one on this morning.
It's fine. I'm sure she'll forgive you.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
You could talk it over, talk it out. All right. Well, now that all introductions are in order and we got all the house cleaning out of the way, I say we get into the discussion for the movie. If you guys don't know how we do things here, we've been doing video recently, which is a change up from just doing audio previously. So if you guys are returning viewers, again, I hope you're enjoying the change and, with us doing video and everything. But now we segment the episodes based on just the singular films. We don't try to cram everything in one. Gives us a little bit more breathing room and makes the episodes a lot more digestible for you guys. But we just kind of, get into trivia a little bit, drop any facts that we read about for, behind the scenes making of the movie and everything like that. And then we just get into the discussion. It's very casual, non-chronological. We just kind of talk about our feelings on the film, what we liked, what we didn't like, and everything like that. But before we get into the trivia, just to set the stage for Batman 89, it's simply called Batman, but a lot of people refer to it as Batman 89 as to not conflict it with the fucking 20 other live-action Batman movies that we got. But it is directed by Tim Burton, budget of $48 million, box office of $411.6 million, and it has a critical score on Rotten Tomatoes of 77% and an audience score of 84%. So very, very successful movie. Obviously, that's $411 million back in 1989, so I didn't even do the adjusted for inflation, but I think
that's closing in on $1 billion probably.
Yeah, because I think around 80s, if you try to convert it to today's money, it's usually like almost double what it was back
I think
then.
I think
So,
90s was definitely double. So 89 probably
oh,
like a little bit
geez.
more. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. So
Wow.
crazy numbers for back then, and honestly would have been crazy numbers today, especially based on that budget. Read off the IMDb synopsis, and then we'll get into trivia. The Dark Knight of Gotham City begins his war on crime, with his first major enemy being Jack Napier, a criminal who becomes the clownishly homicidal Joker.
Called a
A little bit
war.
wordy, IMDb. A little bit wordy, but
Yeah, I wouldn't
better
call
than
that
I
a
would have called
war. More like he fights him a couple times and that's it. He knocks
it.
off a clock tower. It's fine.
No, dude, it was the 80s, late 80s, so the sense of scale was a lot smaller back then.
I like how this is supposed to be very early Batman, like for him, right? Like, I mean, what it has
Year
to be,
one.
yeah, it has to be like only a year in, probably. I don't even see 2 years being a thing.
Yeah,
'Cause, like-
it's like yeah.
Like everyone knows about him. They all hear like the rumors and stuff like that. They're all scared of him.
Mhm.
So it's I'm tracing it back to like how the Batman does it, where he's like people know a little bit about him, but he's very like introduction into his like his presence, and this guy is all decked out already. Like this man already knows how to do everything. He's got every gadget he could ever ask for.
Yeah.
So I think he's just done a lot more prep work than Robbie Pat has done. This
Yeah.
man's ready.
Well, yeah, he's far less depressed.
He's not listening to Nirvana all
I'm
the
about to say
time,
he's not listening to Nirvana. He's listening to Danny Elfman.
No, I did. It's funny that you bring that up, Josh, because I did notice like some interesting just kind of parallels with the Batman, where it does feel like a very early on Batman, and because of how the character of Batman is like presented in this movie and how they capture him, especially in like the first 10 to 15 minutes, which I want to get into at some point because I really do love the way that this film opens up. But the way that they capture Batman in this film and the way that he's like talked about and like the investigative nature of things, where like people, they kind of heard about him and he's made a couple of appearances. I think they say at the beginning, like, that's 8 criminal sightings or something of that sort. Is very similar to the Batman with Robert Pattinson, because it is very early on. There's like these murmurs. People don't even really call him Batman in that movie.
Yeah.
They spend 95% of it calling him Vengeance. So, which again, it's very different from like the approach that Christopher Nolan had with the Batman or the Dark Knight trilogy, because in that one it's like you see every step of the way. You see him before he even puts on the Batman costume and he's just wearing like a ski mask and stuff. So
Yeah.
just it's cool to see the different approaches. I guess it was fun to kind of go back to that more mythical, mysterious aspect of Batman. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But
Dude,
I don't know if you guys
you're like you're like propelled into the world. I mean that's like the main
Yeah.
thing people come out with. Like that's like the big highlight of this movie is it's his like atmosphere and the look of the film, and just like how like towering everything feels. You're kind of like locked into this 40s. Like people never really. I don't know what time we're living in right now. It's but I like that. I like that about
Yeah.
it. I mean it is
watching-
like modern day, right? It's just supposed to be its own like world,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, generally Batman's like the 40s and like a gothic Jersey like place is the way the kind of the
Yeah.
vibe of Gotham City, because everyone's
Now-
like dressed in like in big trench coats and top hats and all that. It's all that, and plus the animated series did all that too. It's like
Yeah.
that's kind of the vibe. And then it went up when they upgraded the animation. It's like no, it's like gangs and like mobster. No, not more.
Yeah.
No, well, not so much mobsters. More like just guys in ski masks.
Yeah, like this is definitely supposed to be set in the 40s, not just having like a 40s aesthetic, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah. Like I don't
yeah.
know, like is there anything that shows that it's like that is more like modern than 40s, or is it all like traditional to that era?
It's kind of just like around that time period of like the 40s and like 50s era, because like the cars
okay.
look a little bit older, and like the ads and everything, they look like a little bit older than like 80s for sure.
Yeah,
That's kind
yeah,
of just the
definitely.
vibe of Gotham in general.
It has like a very like classic aesthetic to it,
Yeah.
like you said, with all the production design
Well,
choices and everything.
well, yeah, but then I don't want to get too far into it because like it's obviously the next film, but he has CDs,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
so where are
and they
where are
listen
we
to
in
it.
time?
There's a Prince song, so
Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of like it's like a mix of like different. So like that's why I don't know if it's supposed to
Yeah.
still be relevant to the '80s or and then just
yeah.
has this. I don't know. It's kind of like it's almost kind of like It Follows. You don't know what like they have so many things from like the '90s in that movie, and it's like modern day. So I don't know if it's them just like trying to work
Well, I
with
remember
just different
with
things that
It
interest them.
Follows, when I was reading up on the history of that movie, because that's just like one of my favorite horror films of the last like decade or so. I remember reading that the director of that film specifically wanted the audience not to be able to tell what time period the movie was taking place in. So it was like a very deliberate choice in using a lot of different production design elements to get that specific
Yeah,
feel. So I'm wondering if Tim
Mm.
Burton had like that similar mindset where he just wanted this to feel out of time in a sense.
yeah,
And like that's something like I especially wanted to highlight. That's one of the notes I took with this film, that while watching it again, because I haven't seen Batman 89 in a hot minute at this point, but while watching it, it made me realize just like the same kind of feeling I have with every Tim Burton movie, where the two best parts about this movie are the production design and the music. And I feel like that
Mm.
I have that feeling about a lot of Tim Burton movies, where it's like it always just has such a gorgeous, like meticulously crafted look to it, especially with like all of the sets that they build in this movie. And then also again, like that Danny Elfman score that's like, I mean, it's same with like the Raimi Spider-Man score. It's hard for me not to associate
yeah.
Batman with that Danny
Right.
Elfman track in this. On top of being used for this movie and being so iconic from this film, like with that intro and that like very just like
Mm.
iconic slow reveal of the Batman logo with that music in the background. And then also, I'm pretty sure that they ended up using this score for the Batman the Animated Series. Like that's the
Yeah.
same piece of music that they use,
Yeah. They
right? So,
use this. They use like the similar theme from.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's and
Dude
again
just gets
similar
it. He
when
gets it.
we he gets it, dude. And one thing that I realized too while watching this was also just same kind of feeling I had when rewatching the Raimi trilogy is it's not always just even the main theme that Elfman makes for these superhero projects, but the little the little musical motifs during like the smaller moments. Like he always adds this like very whimsical, fantastical
Mm.
feel to the music that just like really like pumps up the scene, and I don't know. I just always
Hmm.
dig it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um, we kind of just went into to really just discussing the movie. I didn't get a chance to look into too much trivia with this movie. The only one that really stood out to me was that they kind of used Robin Williams as bait to try to get Jack Nicholson to do the Joker role in this film. Like they were kind of
Mm.
teasing Robin Williams in front of him, like dangling him in front of him, like, "Hey, listen, if you don't take this role, we're gonna give it to Robin Williams," and that kind of made Jack Nicholson do it. And I guess it got back to Robin Williams that they used him as bait, and he got really pissed off,
Mm.
so much so that that's why he declined to be in Batman Forever, because I think they originally wanted him to be the Riddler, and
Oh.
ultimately they obviously got Jim Carrey, but he was the original plan for the Riddler, and he was so pissed off at Warner Brothers that he said "fuck off" until they apologized, and then like years later he ended up doing another Warner Brothers movie. But Cade, I know you're the Batman expert in the building. And know any cool fun facts about this movie, or
Oh my god, you're putting me on a spot here.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is that because I know if I don't mention it, my friend Seb's gonna get like super pissed at me. And it's that after like the Burton movies, like years and years later, they made a sequel comic series
Hmm.
about that universe of Batman, like the Burton series, and like Forever and Batman and Robin, not canon in that didn't
Right.
happen. None of that happened, and they did something very interesting they made Billy D. Williams Two Face, like they
Yeah.
made his Harvey Dent the Two Face of that universe, and it was like very interesting because he was all like purple on one side, and it was like it very much like kind of like how Tommy Lee Jones looked, but less goofy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less plastic and rubbery, and more like has like a bit of like a skeleton showing and everything, like very much a more Tim Burton-y, like gory sort of way, you know?
Yeah. No, I think I remember hearing about that years back and maybe coming across like just one or two panels from it, that being like the Billy D. Williams Two-Face. And it was, again, rewatching this film for this episode where I got really like, not sad, obviously, like I'm not that devastated over it, but just disappointed that we never got to see that third Tim Burton Batman movie. And we'll talk about why we never got to see it with when we talk about the Batman Returns episode.
Yeah.
And that'll be a fun discussion and everything. But sticking or just sticking to this film specifically, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys have any other trivia, Josh, if you were able to look up anything interesting about this film or.
It was more so who was set to direct this or who was in talks of directing it. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, no, I didn't. No.
Cronenberg was an option, which I mean that could have been something very interesting to see. I mean, I think Joe Dante also, which I mean, I like, but I don't, I don't know. I don't know. I'm happy with Tim Burton. Cronenberg would have been cool though. That would have been, we would gotten an R-rated Batman, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Like
that would have been dude, imagine
probably.
That's my ideal world. Give me a Cronenberg made Batman movie, but where like Man Bat is the villain. I feel like he would fucking nail that.
Yeah.
No, that's cool though. I always love hearing like the potential directors that could have. That was always fun when we were talking about the Harry Potter movies, just like every film, just looking at like, well, up until I guess David Yates, who went on to do every goddamn Harry Potter project after
Continues
five.
to.
And continues to, yeah. Well, I mean, I think those Fantastic Beasts movies are dead in the water. But yeah. So I guess we'll get back into the movie discussion. One thing too, Cade, that we'd like to do on this podcast, and again, since you are a huge Batman fan, do you have like a relationship or like a history with this movie? Do you remember watching it when you were young or?
Kind of. So I never really watched this one when I was a kid. I more seen like bits and pieces. Like obviously I've seen like the famous scenes. Like I've seen scenes with Jack Nicholson's Joker. I've seen the Get Nuts scene. Like I've seen I've seen like classic moments of '89 Batman, and even less I watched Returns even less than that because I remember not to get too much into it, but the beginning of that movie always freaked me out as a kid because yeah. But no, my love for Batman honestly started with the Nolan trilogy. And I remember I watched Batman Begins a little bit here and there, and but I more watched The Dark Knight. And I remember like watching that a lot and then going to go see Dark Knight Rises in theaters with Colin. And kind of like I don't know what clicked, but like that whole scene of him coming back as Batman kind of clicked in my head. It's like, this guy's awesome. This is a badass superhero. And then I just like fell in love with the character, learned more about the character through comics, shows, and then I watched more of like the Justice League cartoons and like saw
Great
more
cartoon.
And more seeing like the less like armored Batman, more like cloth based suit, and like the more like calm demeanor of Batman just like always kind of like resonated with me because he's not like this guy who always runs in, beats up a bunch of people, like the Arkham games where it's like you press Y and you counter like 3 different attacks and then you're just jumping around like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's more of like an actual detective. And then going back to the '89 movie, I watched it about, and I'm trying to remember what I said on Cinemadopes, but I believe I watched it about 5, maybe 6 years ago. And
First time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's more of a recent watch for me.
Okay.
And I remember I was like, yeah, this is good. And then like each time I've watched it, I'm like, it's all right. It's not my favorite. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this most recent watch, I was like, it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
No, that was similar to my reaction while watching it. Like, I don't want to say I had like a very passive watch this time, but like I ended up not taking a lot of notes while watching it because every time I was taking a note, it wasn't like something like was like a very visceral reaction from me. It was just like, yes, I rather enjoyed that, or okay, I didn't like that much. Like there wasn't a lot in this movie for me to latch onto. I had a lot of the same experience as you, where it was just like, it's fine. And this is a movie, Josh, I was just about to ask you like your history with it or if you have one, but I guess I'm on the opposite end where I did grow up watching this movie a lot. Like this one, Returns, and Forever. I remember watching all three of those on VHS and whatnot. For some reason, not Batman and Robin. Well, I guess we know why, but like for a lot of reasons why. But no, I watched this movie a lot as a kid, and I remember I used to be a lot more impressed with it, and I can get into my criticisms that I picked up on this time when we get into that in a minute. But yeah, I think it's a fine movie, and I do have like a history and a nostalgia for it, and that part was nice. It was fun to be like, oh yeah, I remember that, and oh, this is like kind of, I don't want to say returning me to my childhood and be all cheesy and whatnot, but it was fun to be like, yeah, this is something from my youth, and I'm enjoying it. It's not amazing, but yeah, I don't know about you, Josh.
I'm trying to think of like the first Batman because I know my history is more with Batman Returns as a kid. Mostly Batman Forever. That's probably the most that I've watched as a little kid. I don't know if it's I think we had the VHS of Returns and not 89. So I don't even think I think I saw Batman as a kid, but I didn't really I didn't like it as much as Returns as a kid. I think I started to like it more maybe in my like preteens, teenager. And then I'm going to leave my opinion of like what I like better now. But yeah, so I don't have that much of a history with Batman as a kid. I've seen it like once, definitely as a little kid, but nothing I really remember sticking with me too much until I got older. So I'll have more of a history to share with Returns probably once we get into that.
No, I think I'm in like a very similar boat. Like I remember as a kid preferring Batman Returns, and I think upon this rewatch and just kind of I guess getting into more of like the discussion of this movie and like our thoughts on it, I think the pacing in this movie is a bit rough. I think it's very slow at certain points, and it's not that I'm hating what I'm watching, but I'll be honest, there was a couple times while watching it that I was doing some time checks. Like when I was, I forget at what point, I think it was when Batman decides he's going to go after the Joker, and he has some like cheesy one-liner cool thing that he says to Kim Basinger's character, Vicky Vale. But I'm like, okay, this feels like the story is wrapping up. It feels like it's ending. And I checked the time, and there was still like 35 minutes left. And I was like, oh, we got a lot to go. And I did that a couple times throughout the movie. I'm not sure if you guys felt that or how you feel about the pacing of it. It just felt like there was a lot of scenes of things not happening. And it's not, again, it's not that I was hating what I was watching. It just felt like, hey, we could probably cut some of this out. Like, this could have been an hour and 40-minute movie. I don't think this needed to be 2 hours.
Yeah, so at over 2 hours with credits, I'm expecting, I think there is a lot of stuff to like enjoy from this movie, even with the Joker. So like I've had like an up and down, mostly up with Jack Nicholson's Joker. I think over the years, more recently, I've kind of like gone a little bit down of like how I feel about him. I don't know. I think he has a lot of really good scenes. I love the art museum scene. I love his sit down with Vicky. I really enjoy that scene. I think he really brings like just like I think he's like truly like chaotic, and I like that he doesn't have this insane master plan. He's kind of like, he's pretty simple with what he wants. But then sometimes I'm like, I don't know. So, I don't know what I want from him. Sometimes I'm not getting it all the time. I don't know if All right, so I know I'm jumping all over the place with the movie here. I don't like how they tie him to Batman in this, and I don't know how you guys
Right.
feel about that. I think that kind of hurts his character, and I think that hurts Batman in this movie. I don't know. I just think with a movie being over 2 hours, you need a little bit more of a core of like where we're going with the main character. I think this is centered more on Joker, on his arc and where he's taken to. Whereas Batman, I don't know. We're already not given a lot with him, so it just, I don't know. It feels kind of like, it feels more of just like a revenge tale by the end of it, which I don't know how, I don't really like, to be honest. So I don't know. I think this movie has a lot of really good stuff. Obviously, aesthetically, I think it has a lot of like good scenes here and there. So I think I'm with you on the pacing. There's some scenes that kind of like come in and go out too quick. I'm trying to remember one I'm remembering specifically where it just ends. It's when he blows the little what are those things called?
Like a
the
blow
little-
dart.
Well, no. It's it just at like parties. You blow it, and it like comes out, makes a little sound.
Oh, kazoo.
Yeah.
Kazoo.
Yeah, kind of like that. That scene.
Yeah, I know
where
what you're
he's-
talking about, though. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like talking to the guy. It's probably like a 20-second scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly
I
what
forget
you're
what the
talking
line is when he blows it, and then it just ends. So there's times like that, but then other scenes where they drag on a little long. So I do feel the time more with this than I do with Batman Returns, which I'm resisting talking about Returns in comparison to this, and what I like more about that. Well, I already kind of let my hand there. Fuck.
No, I mean, like, we don't have to get into it too much, but yeah, like, slightly mentioning Returns, it does feel like a faster paced movie in my opinion. Cade, what like, does the movie move quick for you, or do you kind of feel it at some points?
I think it slows down here and there, but I think it kind of needs to, because we go like Batman, a little bit of Bruce Wayne, Batman, a little bit of Bruce Wayne with like sprinkles of the Joker here and there. And when you mention it, Josh, all I can think of now is Joker. This town needs an enema.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know.
No, but like, Josh,
I
going
didn't care
off
for
what
that
you
part.
said, like, I do think that Jack Nicholson, like, I think I, like, similar to you, I feel like I've been up and down with his Joker over the years. I definitely do prefer Heath Ledger, but there is something to the way that Jack Nicholson, he brings like a real unhinged energy to the movie, which I really do appreciate, because there are some, like we said, some slower, more methodically paced scenes. So it's nice to have a character in the film who is very vibrant and over the top. And like, to Jack Nicholson's credit, he is really chewing the scenery. Like, it does really remind me of like Willem Dafoe in that first Spider-Man movie, where it's like he's just hamming it up in certain points, and it's really fun. It's really engaging to watch. And I do think that his Joker does help with some of the more sluggishly paced scenes, because he is like, every time he's on screen, you're engaged. You're glued to the screen. Even when they're doing the whole, song and dance number with the Prince song and everything, which, yeah, it can be a little bit goofy. And like, while I may think that something like Zack Snyder's take on Batman is maybe a little too serious and maybe a little too self-indulgent when it comes to the darker elements of the Batman character, I do think that sometimes people forget that there are some campier Batman comics. There are some more fun, lighthearted takes on the Batman character that are successful and can work. And that's something that I do find really charming in this Batman 89 film. It does feel comic booky at times. And again, a large part of that is due to the production design. Like, I love the way Gotham looks in this movie. It has such like a gothic, industrial look to it that is so unique compared to all other live action Batman movies. The Nolan thing, it's like, oh, it's just Chicago.
It's just Chicago, yeah.
It's just Chicago. And while I loved the way that Matt Reeves captured Gotham in the Batman, where it's like very dirty and dingy and just disgusting in all the scenes, which is great and I love it, the way that Tim Burton was able to just bring that comic book version of Gotham to life in this, I think, is like super apparent and just adds so much like texture to the movie, I guess is the only way I could phrase it.
There's like a lot of like matte paintings and shit, which I love. I love that so much. you could clearly see that he does take a lot of influence from like the German expressionist era of filmmaking,
Yeah.
like Metropolis. When you just see like it just I don't know, there's so much character in this movie. I don't know if the attention was just put too much on that. Maybe if Tim Burton just read like more than one comic book, I think, of Batman, I think maybe we would have more depth here.
Well, see, it's interesting because I feel like, and again, a little slight comparison. I feel like Batman '89 is a Batman movie made by Tim Burton. I feel like Batman Returns is a Tim Burton movie that happens to have Batman. Is the best way
Yeah.
that I could phrase it, because this still is like, yeah, there's some more adult things. Like, there's a scene where Joker straight up stabs a guy in the neck with like a pen. Like, is it as
Sure.
graphic as some things that would happen in Batman Returns? No, not so much.
Yeah.
But there are some more
Yeah.
adult things. But this is still a very fun, family-friendly, easily accessible superhero movie that just happens to be made by like a quirky lunatic named Tim Burton.
So you would say that you would still see this as like a Batman movie, because I see it as a Joker movie, and I agree with you with
See-
Batman Returns. I see what you're saying there. So I never feel like
Well-
I get an actual Batman movie.
That is something I wanted to ask both of you, because I remember, Josh, at one point you had said that you don't like that Christian Bale's Batman is not your Batman. So like I wanted to get both of your opinions. Cade, you can go first after this, just on this Batman and Michael Keaton's take on the character, because one thing that I realized while watching it this time and looking just for things to discuss is I love in this film how they present and capture Batman. Like, I
Yeah.
love the suit. I love the logo, the little touch of yellow on like the very like charcoal black suit, I think is gorgeous. I love how he like lurks in the shadows. And one thing too that I can't go without talking about is I love the first time you see him, you get that overhead shot of him just standing like on the outside of the building, and when he turns around, his shadow is fully 2D animated. Like, it's not an actual
Yeah.
shadow, like they animate it. It's super cool. I love how they present and capture Batman in this. I don't love how they write the character, particularly on both a
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne and a Batman level. So I'm just
Okay.
curious what you guys think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I like that's kind of my issue. Like I say, we when I say this doesn't feel like a Batman movie, I mean at like the central point of the movie, the plot and the character itself. I love how he is. I love the Batman we're given in terms of mood. Like I love everything you listed. With like Christian Bale's, I like his Bruce Wayne a lot more than his Batman. And I like that you do get an understanding of what is his goal here? Why is he doing what he's doing? I wish
Yeah.
we got more of that in this movie. And that's where I feel like it would be more of a Batman movie beyond the panels, right? Like it feels like a lot of this is focused on, let's create these like really defined panels like a comic book. And it's great at doing that. Like, it really is great at doing that. And I'm not even saying this is like weak with like its characters overall. I think it's. I don't know if it maybe it's weak with its overall story and its message. I think it lacks like a deep message, which I think Batman does have a lot. So I think they're like missing a good like chunk of like what makes Batman so special. So I don't know.
Cade, what do you think?
It always comes down to every single interpretation of Batman. You're either a good Bruce Wayne or you're a good Batman. That's
Yeah.
it. I think Michael Keaton does a great job as Bruce Wayne, capturing his not much of a playboy like Bruce Wayne is usually, but more of like this guy that's just always throws a lot of parties and is always like a billionaire, and he's like, and he, I love the moments where he has like with Vicky Vale, like when they're at the dinner table and they're at like such a long table.
Yeah.
He he didn't hear what she said. He's like, I've ever been in this room before.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, that Bruce Wayne would like have this huge mansion that he doesn't always visit. Like doesn't go to every single room because he's doing other things. He can,
Yeah.
but like some like Val Kilmer's a great Bruce Wayne. He's an okay Batman. George Clooney's a neither. He's neither a good Batman nor a good Bruce Wayne. Um,
Yeah,
I think Christian Bale's a great Bruce Wayne, but he's a terrible Batman. Just to
I
get
can
into
agree
it,
with that. Yeah,
and Robert Pattinson's the opposite. He's a great Batman, a bad Bruce Wayne, because he's a secluded guy that everyone could
yeah.
suspect. Like that guy could be Batman. No one knows where he is. He has all this money. He's like that guy could be Batman. Come on. But
And
Bruce
he looks like he hasn't. He looks like he hasn't seen the sun in like a month.
right. He's a pasty boy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very patient.
But,
No,
but
I think it's
Bruce-
very interesting what you said about Keaton because I can actually get on board with that. Out of all out of all the live action Bruce Waynes that we've had, him the most, and I'm not sure if you'd agree, but him the most, you're like, there's no way he could be Batman. And there
Just
is
the way he
something
acts,
really,
yeah.
really charming to that. Like he does come across as like kind of just this weird, socially awkward guy who doesn't exactly know how to interact with people that well,
Mhm.
but is not like overly like that, like in the way that Robert Pattinson is, where he's like so completely gone. So there is something really charming about the way Keaton portrays that character.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's very charismatic and very charming. He's also
Yeah.
a bit of a know-it-all. Like when he's having that scene with Vicky and her I think it's Knox, right? Is his name that goober reporter? They're like all looking at all the suits of armor. And it's like, I wonder what this is. It's Japanese. It's like he knows instantly because he bought it. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
And I like
No,
that
yeah.
that game that they have where he's just like, yeah, I don't know who this Bruce Wayne guy you're looking for, and they find out it's like, oh, you're Bruce Wayne. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not ashamed of like lying to you at all about that.
Oh,
No,
Knox.
and there are
When he-
like there are great there are great little moments too with Bruce's character, and one scene that I actually love is right after, because like halfway through that dinner scene with Vicky Vale, when he's like, do you want to get out of here? And she's like, yeah. And then it cuts to them in like the little kitchen area, and it's much more
Alfred,
personal.
yeah.
Yeah, with Alfred, and he's telling a story, and it's very nice and sentimental. And I do like that little conversation he has with Vicky, where he's like, yeah, some parts of this house are very much me, and other parts aren't at all. And she kind of like highlights, she's like, yeah, that dining room absolutely is not you. And he kind of just laughs. He's like, no, it's not. And I love that little moment, because one thing that I think this movie does really well is humanize that Bruce Wayne character. Like, and that's something that I think that, even though I do love Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, and I think they do an excellent job with that, playboy aspect of his character and all that stuff. And it's great for the logic of that movie. There is something, like you said, Keaton is just very charming and likable in this movie, and
Yeah.
especially in just those little scenes. And him and Kim Basinger have like really fantastic chemistry, I think, in this movie.
I will say the only thing that has me like thinking, how does Vicky Vale not figure it out, is
Yeah.
when she wakes up in the middle of the night and she sees Bruce Wayne hanging upside down in the corner of the bedroom, like when he's doing his exercise or whatever. It's like, that guy's hanging upside down. What the fuck is he doing? What are you doing?
Dude, it's so crazy you brought that up. That was, out of the few notes I took for this movie, that was one of them. Because I was like watching the movie, but I also like had to like check on my dinner that I was cooking. And
Yeah.
so it was at a moment when I had gotten up to check my dinner. And because I was like, oh, nothing weird is going to happen. It's just them laying in bed.
Well,
and then I look over from checking on my pasta, and he's hanging upside down. And I've seen this movie dozens of times in my life. Like, I've rewatched it a lot. Just haven't put it on in the last couple of years. And I must have just completely blocked that scene out of my memory, because I was like, I had to like rush over to my phone and like open up my notes, and I was like, why the fuck is he hanging upside down?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that scene got me good. And there are one thing that I do, I know we haven't talked too much about Jack Nicholson's Joker, but one thing that I do kind of like about his Joker and what he brings to the table, as opposed to maybe like a Heath Ledger, which is a much more like grounded, serious take on the character than what Jack Nicholson did. Even if Jack Nicholson is very over the top, but like Joker inherently is a very over the top character to begin with.
Right.
But this, like, Jack Nicholson's Joker is funny. Like, he is very funny, I think. Like, and I think that's a core aspect of the Joker character that a lot of live action portrayals kind of miss is that he's a clown. He's supposed to be making jokes and be funny. And I think Jack Nicholson does have some moments that at least made me laugh in the movie. Like, he's not as funny as Danny DeVito's Penguin, but that's like a separate conversation.
Yeah.
But it's mainly Danny DeVito's not trying to be funny. He just says the most outlandish shit you'll ever hear in a superhero movie. But no, I mean, how do you guys feel about Jack Nicholson's Joker overall? Because like Josh said, this is less of a Bruce Wayne Batman movie and more of a Joker movie. Like, to the point where I think I was actually reading, in terms of trivia facts, this was the first film or this might have been the first piece of media that explored the Joker's origins. I'm not sure if I misread that, but they said, I thought I read a fact saying that this was the first exploration up until The Killing Joke, which would be released later on.
Sounds right. Because I think Killing Joke was like, what, 93? Maybe 94?
Yeah, either early or
like
mid 90s, which,
Yeah, I think
great side note, great comic, terrible animated movie.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not. It is not.
The Joker Batman stuff's fine. It's like just from the comics, but it could be done better. But like the whole Barbara, that's a whole thing.
Yeah, I don't like
Get
seeing
that
Batman sleeping with Batgirl was not on my list of things I want to see in a Batman movie.
That's not how. It's weird. It's weird.
So weird. It's so weird.
Besides the massive age gap between the two of them, that's your friend's daughter. Chill.
Yeah.
Calm down, Bruce. But
maybe keep it in your pants, Bruce.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. What do you guys think about the Joker in this?
So I mean, I like it's hard not to play the comparison game. So I think Heath brings a lot of like great elements to the character that maybe we didn't see before, but compared to Jack, like what I do think he is missing is what you said, and I think Jack he doesn't need. There's no part where he's trying to be maniacal. He's not trying to be evil or anything. Like he just is. Like he just seems like he just is that. So it all comes out very naturally. Whereas like I mean it is like over the top, but like you said, I forgive that because it is like in the embodiment of the character. But I love that he's funny. I love that he's just like so sassy and like snarky all the time. I think I wish we got more of that from Heath. Just a better mix, just a better blend where it's not like so serious all the time. So I don't know. Like I think Jack does find that balance of like this dude is like fucking like actually insane. Like when he's I'm trying to think of that dinner scene he's having with Vicky. Like when he says, "Do I look like I'm joking?" Like I love that line with like his fucking like grin, like that he can't like wipe off, and he looks so serious, but he's got that like fucking. I mean, he can't help it. That's just how his face is. But
he surgically looks like that now.
Yeah.
Well, very similarly to. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna. And he has a great laugh too. Like when he like looks at the mirror, like his laugh is just so good.
I was just gonna say, like, similarly to how they like present and capture Batman in this movie, I love how they like the first couple of scenes after Jack Napier falls into the vat of chemicals that like turns him into the Joker and everything. I love the build up of the Joker reveal in this movie. Like that first scene when he's in that very like dirty, dingy basement, and it's all like very harsh lighting, and the doctor is like working on him, and he's just like, mirror, mirror, and he grabs the mirror and immediately smashes it, and just it like breaks him. Like that's his breaking moment. Him seeing his own image in the mirror is his breaking moment, and he just like bursts out into this like maniacal laugh, and he destroys all the lights. And I think it's just very like well shot, and the lighting in it is great. And then also when he I forget the character's name, but his like mob boss in the movie, the one who like sells him out, before he ends up shooting him, like, and you just see like it's not even a silhouette because it's just all shadow, but you can just like slightly make out Jack Nicholson's Joker's like the outline of his body in that office, and it's just awesome.
So you just reminded me of something. I got a fun fact for you.
Let's hear it.
So the way that the movie looks is not how it's supposed to look. at all because
Oh,
the brightness is way too high. They turned up the brightness for like DVD releases and thereafter, whenever
huh.
they release like it on TV or on HBO Max now, the
Yeah.
brightness is too, like the gamma is too high now. Originally, like you don't see his face, you don't see Jack Nicholson's face at all. You just see a silhouette. Same thing with like shots of Batman on like the beginning, like you don't see his
Hmm.
face. So that's why
Yeah.
whenever you look at it now, it's always a little like off because the
Huh.
lighting's off because
Okay.
you like to see a little bit of his face and like his lips and jaw and everything. It's like you're not supposed to. Like especially
Gotcha.
in Axis Chemicals, where it's like a bunch of smoke and like everything. It's a lot darker in the original theatrical release than it is with the new digital releases.
God damn it, they George Lucased it.
Yeah. Also, speaking of George Lucas, he really saw Batman '89. He's like, I'm gonna do the same thing with Darth Vader. But no,
Wait, George Lucas stealing and copying from others
I
pieces
know,
of media?
shocker, right?
Never. Star Wars is a
Never.
wholly original idea.
Totally. But yeah, so the Joker.
Yeah,
um,
Joker.
I I like some things with Jack Nicholson's Joker. I think my main issue with it is that a lot of it is the Joker, a lot of it isn't. Like
Hmm.
especially my issue is his relationship with Batman.
Yeah.
And how that and that's not even like the whole like Bruce Wayne like him being the killer or anything. That's really dumb. I don't like that. It should always be a random person or even a Joe Chill.
Yeah, Joe Chill.
That should always be like the only like named person that kills the Waynes because it's a random criminal and it means it can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
If it's like a mob boss or a lieutenant mob boss, dealer or whatever that does it, it's less impactful for me, especially if it becomes the Joker. Also, giving the name, giving it like a known character and a known origin story of the Joker is kind of already kind of wrong in my
Yeah.
head because I always go back to that quote from The Killing Joke, where it's like, if I have an origin story, why not make it multiple choice?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because that's perfect. That's how you sum up the Joker. He doesn't care who he was
Yeah.
before. That's who he is now. And the reason why more he hates Batman is less so of a hatred and more of like this sadistic sort of like love hate relationship with him. Because Batman created the Joker, so therefore the Joker has to try to one up Batman every single time he sees him. He's like has this overpossessive sort of parasocial like attitude towards him the entire time. But in this movie, it's more like, why is Batman stealing my publicity? I should be the talk of the town, not him. It's like it's not the
Yeah.
Joker, really.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
I feel that.
yeah.
No, you're right. And I think that's the story with a lot of this movie in terms of, I don't want to say comic book accuracy because it's always, you're walking a fine line when you bring up accuracy, because it's always, all right, well, what
Mhm.
comic are you trying to be accurate to? And especially characters like Batman, Superman, where you have
Right,
just
yeah.
decades and decades of material to pull from. But no, when it, more so bringing things back to this movie, I guess like that, like what you just said is kind of the story of the whole thing, where it's like they do nail some of it, and then
Yeah.
other parts you're left a little unsatisfied. Like I said with like how they capture Batman, I love how how they present the character and how they capture him and how he's
Mhm.
lit, and again just all of those presentation aspects that Tim Burton is usually great with. And kind of very similar to how I said earlier, that usually the two best parts of Tim Burton movies is the production design and the music, and that's
Mhm.
applicable to this movie, at least for me. I tend to think that the worst part of a lot of Tim Burton movies is the screenplay. And
Mhm.
one thing, I may have said that like Michael Keaton and Kim Basinger have great chemistry, and I think they do, and that's why this isn't a huge negative. But in terms of things that I do like criticize with this film, their relationship doesn't particularly work for me, and I think it's because it feels extremely rushed. It doesn't
Mhm.
feel like it's properly developed, and it feels like, and I know it's like not like a great thing to complain about in like a blockbuster superhero movie, because typically you want it to just kind of like be like a boom 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 pacing and move along and feel brisk, and you don't want it to overstay its welcome. But their relationship, it just feels like it just flies by. It just feels like within like 2-3 scenes, they're already like hardcore falling in love with each other, and it just feels all too rushed in this movie. So it's another aspect of this movie where I feel like, all right, well, I do like this one aspect. They are great when they're on screen together, and they really have this dynamic chemistry, and the back and forth is great. But also, you're just moving it along too fast. You're not giving it time to develop. And then, like, again, not to jump too far ahead, but you get to Batman Returns, and I actually have a quote from Tim Burton about that movie and why Kim Basinger didn't return for it, but it just feels irrelevant. So we spent this entire movie developing this relationship, or trying to develop it, all for it to not really matter, because by the time the next movie comes, it's like, it reminds me of like the Karate Kid series, where it's like every single movie Daniel LaRusso has a new girlfriend in that, and like they never carry over like the same female character. But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of elements of this movie that, like, there's parts about it that are good and that I like and that I do think work, and then things that I do think like really hold it back. Like the way that they present characters are great, but the way that they write them, not so much. Certain things feel rushed, other things feel really drawn out, so they never quite hit that right tempo. And I think the best superhero movies and the best blockbusters, the one key thing that they have to do is build momentum. And I feel like this film has such a thinly veiled plot, and the characters aren't that well explored, even though they do attempt it, that there is nothing propelling the movie forward. So the whole time you're just like, yeah, okay. And then you get to the ending, which feels like a very drawn out climax. Like the whole like clock tower setting is cool. I think it's a cool set that they built, and I like the idea. But Jesus Christ, like I don't know how you guys felt about it, but my God, it felt like it was like a 30-minute sequence.
So
like
yeah.
it just wouldn't end.
I think there was. I wish I read more about this, because I saw like someone mention it, but I didn't go too far into it. But there might have been rewrites for that, and I think that's why it felt almost like directionless. Because I think it was such a good setting, but so that was a critique I was gonna bring up, was its final act. I feel like is almost going like nowhere, and like I think they. So there is a good line that I like. I don't know how if you guys feel it, but it's like probably the famous line of the movie is the dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. I think that's a really good line. I think it comes in too late, where it's like, I don't know. It almost feels like a throwaway line at that point, because he gives it back to him at the end, but it kind of just, it makes it more about just like the revenge part, which I had a problem with. And I don't like how we're brought to this big moment at the end of the movie, and it doesn't feel like there's any stake to it. It quite literally is just a fist fight between these two, and you know that there is no, the conclusion. Like even it made me think of like when Heath Ledger says to Batman, "You didn't think I'd risk losing the soul of Gotham in a fist fight with you?" Like, that'd be fucking stupid. And that's where we kind of end here, and it just feels a little bit empty there. It's like, oh, I was expecting something that would kind of, I don't know, like where you would believe that Bruce would lose in some way. I don't know, and you don't get that. I do like in that scene. I like the Joker in that scene. I think he's really good in that. Like I love when he puts on the fucking glasses. He says, "You want to hit a guy with glasses?" Which I think that's really funny. That might be his funniest part in the movie to me. Even when he says the whole "you made me," remember, you dropped me in that vat of chemicals. Yeah. And I love when he says that wasn't easy to get over, and don't think I didn't try. I think that's really funny too. Like I think that's a really funny line.
Josh, you're missing the funniest part though. The funniest part with him. The funniest part is when, and I think that The Dark Knight kind of a little bit almost stole this scene from this movie. But it's when he's in his bat plane flying around the city. Yep. And he's flying straight at Jack Nicholson's Joker. And Jack Nicholson pulls out a revolver with the longest... The thing is, how did it fit? The weirdest part is it works, because one shot and it takes down the bat plane.
It's a hand cannon.
Your arm can only go so long. It's like it becomes longer than him, but somehow his arm was able to stretch to pull it out. I don't know.
The funniest thing is for some reason, again, this is something like I always like mentally block out. I always think he's gonna, because he like the barrel is so fucking long. I always think that he's gonna like hold it up like he's using like a rifle. but he always
No.
just like pulls back and just does it like a normal revolver. But either way, The Dark Knight stole that scene because it's like a same exact thing when Batman's on the Bat bike and he's coming at Heath Ledger's Joker and he's just like, come on, hit me.
Yeah.
Like Jack Nicholson is also like egging Batman on to like shoot him. So
Yeah.
But I wish you got that. I wish you got that. Like, oh, you don't know if that's like but that's not really a thing that he's trying to do. He's not trying to make Batman break that rule. You know, I wish you kind of got that. That would be a more interesting dynamic between the two. You know, like like,
this
he
Batman
doesn't know
has
that's his rule.
zero problems killing people. This
Yeah.
Batman,
You know what? Actually, I guess that's why he doesn't care because he dropped him in that fucking like vat of chemicals. So
not only does Batman not care about the no killing thing in this movie, I think he actively enjoys killing.
dude, he
people in
feasts
this.
on it. He loves the opportunity to kill. Loves it.
Yeah. No, he is.
How many people does he kill? He drops a bomb also in this one too. It like blows up the whole like.
He kills so many people in that factory. It's
Yeah.
crazy. He blows up an entire factory just thinking that he's gonna kill the Joker, only for Joker to fly over an helicopter. It's like, I wasn't in there.
Yeah.
No, and it's you can't even make the argument that people try to make in like some Batman movies where it's like, oh, like he it's not like purposeful killing, like because he genuinely
Technically, the
says
Batmobile did it.
well, yeah, technically the Batmobile did it. Like they were just like it was just like casualties. No, like in this movie, he legitimately says to Jack Nicholson's Joker, he says, "I'm going to kill you," like flat out. He says, "I'm going to kill you."
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, that just goes back to like like a big thing with like so much of what makes the dynamic between Joker and Batman historically is the whole Batman not killing people. And the whole reason that Batman doesn't kill people is because his entire life was turned upside down and he was so traumatized because somebody murdered his family, his parents, and that fucked him up forever. So that's why he doesn't kill people. And so when you don't have that dynamic with him and the Joker, and there are no stakes, like you said, and that's what works so well about The Dark Knight is because in that film, Heath Ledger's Joker is that agent of chaos, and he is so, I don't care if I die, I don't care if I lose my life, I just want to bring you to the edge. And like it goes back to one of my favorite lines in The Dark Knight where Heath Ledger's Joker says something along the lines of, Gotham deserves a better class of criminal, and I'm going to give it to him. And again, there's like an actual plot in The Dark Knight that keeps the film moving along. I didn't really find a strong plot in this movie. It just felt like kind of just scenes happening up until it's like the last there's literally a line that essentially is telling the audience the third act is starting. Like I think it's Batman when he's talking to Vicky Vale and he's like, I gotta go to work or something. Like like
like that's and not to I hate that, like I don't want to keep going back to Dark Knight, but I wanted to connect it to what you were saying. Like one of my favorite parts is like a quick part. It's at the very end when Batman does throw him off and you just hear Joker laughing. Like I just love that you get that punch that he got his like, or he thinks he's getting his like his conclusion to like making him break that rule. But I wish you just got some of that but I wanted to ask you, Jake, would you rather if they're gonna break the rule, would you rather Batman own it or play dumb like Christian Bale and say, hey, I ain't gonna kill you, I ain't gonna save you though? It's the same fucking thing, asshole.
Christian Bale's funny because he's like, no, I won't. He's like, I won't kill, but I am gonna give you permanent brain damage, and you're gonna be eating through a feeding tube for the rest of your days.
Yeah, so
but
like,
I'm not gonna kill you.
Yeah. Do you want him acting like
No,
I
listen.
don't know what I want.
Again, my favorite Batman at this point is Robert Pattinson's Batman. I will go on record. That is my favorite Batman movie. That is my favorite live action take on the character. My favorite take in general is Batman the Animated Series. Actually, probably the Arkham games. The Arkham games are probably like my ideal Batman.
See, I'm there with you until I saw the one clip where it's like Batman throws a guy into a door and he's like all spaghettied and like crushed and he just yells, "Talk!" He's dead.
Wait, totally off topic. Did you guys ever watch the old? I think it was an old College Humor clip, and it was the comedian Pete Holmes, and it's Badman instead of Batman, and it's the one with the penguin, and Batman is just straight up murdering people in that, and he's like, "What? No, they're just going to sleep." And
Yeah,
I've
those
seen
those Arkham games are like my favorite iteration of like most of those characters,
Yeah,
even the
yeah.
villains. It just hammers it.
Yeah.
I did want to say like connect something to the Arkham games. I think the guy in the beginning of this movie when they're on the rooftop, that is the epitome of the guy that says it's the freaking bat. I forget what he says, but when they're counting the money, he says something where he says the bat, and his voice, it just reminded me so much of one of the thugs in the games.
Yeah,
Dude, that's one of my favorite part of the Arkham games is like in City and Arkham Knight, just flying around and like listening in on the thugs talking. It's such a fun little like detail in that
I
game
love it.
that just like makes it feel like a real lived in world. But
yeah.
I mean, I didn't even glance at my notes while discussing this. You know, that's always a good sign when you don't have to look at your notes. But one of the funny lines that I thought was just like, again, like, why is it in this movie? But it's the reporter asking what Batman's salary is after taxes. Like it's the guy Knox, and he's like asking the commissioner, and he's like, "What is Batman pulling in after taxes?"
Well, I think it's because Knox thinks for some reason that Batman's like a officer, like he's part of the police force. When every single time he's like, "No, we're trying to arrest this guy."
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Nothing tops though with Knox in that whole final act where he's like all the gas is happening. He has a stick like chasing people, then he runs over to the car and just judo chops it to open the trunk.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a key, nothing. He's just and it opens.
He's a very underrated part of this movie, I think. Like he adds
He's
like
a
very
goober.
fun. Yeah, Goober is the best way to describe him.
I think he's
Full on
I think he's
goofball.
funny.
He's
When
good
when
comedic relief.
When he sees the mirror and he's like, "Man, look at this mirror. Should be Bruce Wayne." I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was like the first time he meets Bruce.
Yeah. And then gets all
He's
jealous, like
He's like so unreasonably angry that Vicky Vale is like going to dinner with Bruce Wayne. He's like,
"Why are you going to dinner with
what?
Bruce Wayne?" He's just doing a story.
he's like, "What? That guy's a schmuck. That guy's rich." He's like so mad. Oh yeah, no. I will say though, the one thing, and then I'm kind of good to wrap up soon. If you, unless you guys have too much else left to say, but
I don't.
one thing that I wanted to get your guys' opinion on is, because again, this is a very different take on Batman than like we've brought up the Nolan trilogy. Very different than the Batman, even though like there's some similarities, obviously, as there's going to be in any kind of comic book adaptation, but there is a very heavy emphasis in this movie on the mystery of Batman. And not only the mystery of Batman, but one thing that I don't know if it's a plot hole or if it's just something that stood out to me, but people just don't know who Bruce Wayne is in this movie. Like, Knox is a reporter for Gotham and doesn't know what Bruce Wayne looks like.
Yeah.
Vicky Vale is a photographer and also at first does not know what Bruce Wayne looks like, which is like obviously a very, very different take on the character than, again, per se, like the Nolan trilogy, because like the second Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne arrives back in town, everybody's like, holy shit, it's Bruce Wayne's back. The second he like arrives at a restaurant, everybody's heads get like whiplash, like snapping, looking at him, they're like, holy shit, it's Bruce Wayne. Whereas in this Gotham, nobody knows or gives a fuck about Bruce Wayne. So I wasn't sure like what you guys thought about that aspect, because I thought it stood out to me this time around.
I guess I didn't think about that, but that's kind of weird. I don't know if I like it because like you have the richest man living in your city, and how does no one have like an inkling of like who this guy even is? So yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know if I care for that. Thanks for that, Jake.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I like. I like it. Yeah, I see. He socializes, but not enough is the problem. It's like like or Knox is just really bad at his job. It's one of the two.
No, they go out of their way to like showcase in this movie that nobody like really knows who. Like she has to do. There's a whole, and that lends to my theory again about a lot of these scenes feeling dragged out and the plot just feeling kind of like overly stretched out. Is there's like a whole subplot of Vicky Vale trying to uncover Bruce Wayne's past.
Yeah.
Like she has Knox specifically research what is so special about that specific alley. Like they don't know that Bruce Wayne's parents died in that alley. Whereas again, in the Nolan trilogy, it's like everybody in the fucking world knows that Bruce Wayne's parents died in that specific alley. It's almost treated like the Michael Myers house in Halloween. Like everybody knows that that's the Myers house. Like, whereas again, in this one, it's just very like hush hush. Like they have to like pull up like an old newspaper article that's like Wayne parents slain in alley.
Right.
I don't know. I just thought it was like an interesting difference compared to like other Batman media we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't know. If I like it.
In the comics, I mean, you guys tell me you guys read more than I did. Is like Thomas Wayne like a very like popular public figure while like Bruce is growing up?
Yeah.
Like he's I mean, they don't really go into that in this movie, so I'm just assuming that he would be.
So sometimes it's always different because comics are always different. Sometimes it's like, oh, he's the CEO of Wayne Enterprises. Sometimes he's a doctor that owns the company, like in like the Nolan movies. Sometimes he's running for mayor, like the Joker movie. It's always something different. Like sometimes he's friends with like the Cobblepots, or he's friends with the Elliots, like his doctor friends with like Hush's parents and everything. It's always something different, but it's always like he's this public figure. Mm-hmm. It's always a huge deal when him and Martha are both killed, and it's just like, shit. Yeah. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Wayne Enterprises isn't a thing in this universe.
No, they don't mention it, but lending to what Cade said is like it is different, like the relationships that the character has. But from what I recall from the Batman comics I've read and the other media like animation and stuff, at the very least, the Waynes are always like a well-known, prominent family. And it's clear that Wayne holds a position of power. Like at the beginning of the film, when they're having that like press conference with like the mayor and the police commissioner and everything, like Bruce Wayne has an empty seat. Like he has a nameplate up there. Like he's not there, obviously, but yeah. One thing interesting about this movie too is I marked down it's almost a full 20 minutes into this movie until we meet Keaton's Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Like they really stretch out, and like obviously the opening is very like old superhero movie-esque opening where it's like the really drawn out credits and everything.
Oh, it's like 5 minutes long.
I love it though because that music is just so fantastic.
Yeah. It's better to look at like this kind of like modeling with the Batman score than just space and like those lines with Superman.
Yeah.
It's better to see that with, and I love the John Williams score for Superman. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it's great. It's
great. But there's something about just seeing blue lines, like I'm watching Spaceballs, just blue lines, and then you see the lettering.
It's very dated, but it's dated but charming, I guess you could say. But I mean, my last personal note, and then obviously whatever else that you guys have. One funny side note is I think Batman is kind of a dick in this movie. And it's very funny.
Terrible.
Like he before he zip lines away with Vicky Vale, he asks her how much she weighs, and she says like 108, and then when they land later, he's like, yeah, you don't weigh 108. And she's like, excuse you.
Yeah. Oh, it's even worse later on with Vicky, if you remember, because he full on.
Dude, when he pushes her down.
No, not even that. When they transition to the next morning, the way they do it, because she got like pictures of him without his mask on, or like a peek or whatever.
Yeah.
And how he gets the camera rolls, he flaps his cape up. What's under that cape? It might be like something to knock her out or whatever. And she just wakes up, and he took the film.
Yeah, he fully knocked her out, and
he pressed
she wakes
B
up in her bed.
and did the stun on her.
It's just all business. He knows what he needs to get done.
Yeah.
Oh, if there is one thing that we've learned from this discussion, it is that Keaton's Batman does not fuck around. Like
he's on business.
He stands on business. But my last big note is. Sorry, what?
No. You do your last note because I have one more note.
No, that's my last note, and just because I love how this movie ends. I think it has just a really great last couple scenes, last couple shots. The way that they reveal the bat signal, I think, is awesome. I think that's such a great way to cap off the movie. You get that like almost the same Danny Elfman score that they've been using since the opening of the movie, but then there's just like a little bit extra at the end of it. So like you feel like it's a really great setup and payoff with music, which you don't often get in a lot of superhero films. But in this one, it's great because you set up that musical motif at the beginning of the film in the opening credits, and you think that you've heard the climax of it. You think that you've heard like the ending of that, and that it can't get any more amped up. And then in this, they're playing it at the end. They're like, well, how will we get in contact with Batman? And the music is just revving up and revving up and revving up, and you think that you've heard where this is gonna end and finish, and they flash the bat signal, and it's revealed. It's great, and then the music kicks into that second gear that you haven't heard throughout the movie, and you're like, oh shit, okay, fuck yes, like give me another one of these right now. It's just an excellent way.
Right
to, like,
now, I need it.
Yeah. But that's my final note. I love the ending. I think it's fantastic.
Do you guys? I was gonna just ask, how do you like his voice in this?
Great, love it.
Cade
Because
doesn't like
I think unlike Bale, I think Keaton is intimidating without trying to be intimidating, and I think that he changes his voice just enough that a person that he knows in his life wouldn't recognize him, but he doesn't sound like he's been smoking 5 packs of cigarettes a day for the last 30 years.
That's true.
I can't stand it. I hate it so much. The Bale voice. I think this is pretty good. I think even like Robert Pattinson, I think does it like. He doesn't have. Remind me, Jake. Does he? He doesn't have a voice changer, but he does a little bit more to his voice, where it still sounds like him, but it is kind of like.
His reminds me. I think Pattinson's is very reminiscent of Keaton's, where he just kind of deepens his voice. He gets a little grumblier, but it's more like a quiet, soft-spoken thing, as opposed to like obviously Bale talking like this all the time. Like it's So
yeah, it's like Conroy. They all kind of do. They all kind of do that same thing, where it's like that's.
Well, Conroy is peak Batman voice.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Peak Batman voice.
Yeah.
Just like Mark Hamill's
that,
peak Joker.
You know.
Yeah.
You could tell the difference between Conroy's voices like very easily.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure there's a specific scene where in that show where he like gets a call. It's like Bruce Wayne's expecting a call from a doctor. And he's in the Batman outfit. He's like, "Hey Doc, how you doing?"
Yeah.
Like totally normal, just in the Batman suit. Like yeah. But I have one last note before we end this. We can't forget the MVP of this entire movie, and that being Joker's friend Bob. He's so good. He had his own McDonald's toy.
He is so great. He's such like a weird, because like in a lot of these movies, like the henchmen, even like the number one henchman, they're usually like very disposable and forgettable. But like in this movie, for some reason, Bob is like the most memorable henchman in any superhero film. Like he just like stands out weirdly. But no, he's a lot of fun.
Am I alone in thinking does anyone else think he looks a little bit like Jeremy Renner?
I could kind of see it. Like a much grosser Jeremy Renner, yes.
Like almost like Jeremy Renner's uncle. Like that's what I'm seeing here. Always thought that for like the last like 10 years.
In terms of people's looks, I can't go without saying, and I texted you guys this yesterday. I gotta highlight it, but 89 Kim Basinger is stunningly beautiful. And if I was Bruce Wayne Batman in that movie, I think I would just completely give up being Batman and just like be with, because like I don't want to like spoilers guys for the next film, slightly small spoilers for Batman Returns, but like they address Vicky Vale in that movie, and it essentially boils down to she like couldn't get past him being Batman. And honestly, I would just give up. Like I'd be like, you know what, I've done my fight, I'm gonna live a happy life now. So that's just where I stand on that. But
I'm with you. I'm with you. Love her.
You guys got any more that you want to say about this film or anything else?
Man, no. I think we covered a good amount. My notes have been tapped out. I've been kind of just like thinking of things on the fly, and
Yeah.
bouncing off what you guys bring up.
Yeah. All right. I think we can all safely say that we'd recommend this movie at least to people. It's a classic of the genre. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I think there's a lot of charming elements to it. I love when movies are shot on film. So like any old classic superhero film, it just has like a very unique, charming, old timey look to it that I like. So. But yeah, do you guys want to get into ratings? I don't know if you do ratings on Cinemadopes, but we like to give scores over here. You don't have to if you don't want to though.
Nah. Well, what kind of rating are we talking? Are we talking like letterbox rating or out of 10?
Whatever we normally do out of 10, but you can do a letterboxed star rating if you like.
We do decimals though. I usually am.
We allow decimals.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, you
we're
can
allowed
do some decimals.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get real specific with it.
I love getting specific with it. Yeah. Do we want to start with Cade's rating or ours or like what? How do we?
We'll give Cade because I don't think we gave Cade any notice that we were doing scores, so we'll give him time to think.
Yeah.
I will go. I'll go first, Josh, and then you can go, and then Cade can cap us off. So I'm gonna give Batman 1989 just a very clean. After all that decimal hyping up, I'm gonna give it a very clean 7 out of 10. I find a lot of
loves cleans. He loves clean numbers.
I think it's a very enjoyable superhero film. I think it's definitely a product of its time. There's areas of improvement, but also for what it's worth, there was not a lot of superhero films back then. So working off not a lot other than a couple of Christopher Reeve Superman films, I think it does a lot right, even if I don't love it. But very nostalgic movie for me, so it was fun to return to it for that reason alone too. So yep, 7 out of 10.
All right, so I'm gonna bump it up a little bit. I'm gonna go with a 7.3 for this. This has kind of upset me a little bit because I used to be higher on this. It's kind of gone down the more I watch it. I still appreciate so much of it, like of what it does, but a lot of my problems with it are within the depth of the plot, the characters themselves. Even though I do think Jack Nicholson's really good in this. I think Michael Keaton is really good in this.
Yeah.
I just don't think they have as much to more so Michael Keaton as much to work off of. But honestly, coming from the last product of Batman being Adam West to this, I think Tim Burton does a lot of special stuff here that really sets the bar for the superhero genre as a whole. So I think there's just a lot of great elements to it. It's just something that, there's just areas of improvement like we've talked about in this for me.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm the lowest one here because I'm giving it a 6.8.
Okay, he's
Yeah,
showing us up. We thought we were critical. This guy's not even in the sevens.
So I like a lot of this movie.
Yeah.
I still think this is you should definitely watch this movie, especially if you're a Batman fan, and especially if you're a new Batman fan, just to go back and like see what they, like Josh said, what they went from Adam West to this. Because this did really change a lot of Batman from being this goofy guy that's wearing like a multicolored or like a zebra suit to like this more serious, like kind of more grittier story to like actually tell a story about a character here. And while I do appreciate that, I can't get past that there is a lot of just chewing out scenes. I can't. Especially, like, I like Jack Nicholson's Joker a lot. He's not my favorite Joker. He's not. He's not even top 3 for me. He's like 4th. But but he's really good. I like him. I just don't. I think there's some scenes where he's like, it's okay. Best Batmobile, best Batwing. The gadgets are great and everything. Keaton is a great Bruce Wayne. Him as Batman's okay. Not my favorite. Suit's great. Other characters are great. Like, the problem that I also have is that while it does look lived in, it feels like there are only 3 characters in this movie that you really should care about, and no one else matters. And like that's not Batman. You're supposed to care about like Commissioner Gordon, the reporters, and like other characters that are like trying to help Batman. And like I don't know, it feels like that Tim Burton like didn't really like get that much of it, or he just didn't care. So yeah, 6.8.
Cool.
It's a good time.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, Cade.
No,
I
honestly.
think Cade just prefers the Jared Leto Joker. I guess. To
No,
Jack Nicholson.
absolutely not. I'd rather have.
When you
I'd
said
rather
like 4 or 5, I'm wondering which ones are above him. I know. Are you counting Mark Hamill?
Yes, Mark Hamill's
Okay,
the best
Mark Hamill,
Joker.
That's
Okay.
fair.
I'd rather have Joker lay on a bunch of like cutout pictures than a bunch of weapons because that's more whimsical and more funny. But no, Mark Hamill's the best. Second is
Yeah.
Heath Ledger. Third is Joaquin Phoenix, and then Jack Nicholson's fourth, and then
Fair enough.
Cesar Romero fifth, and Jared Leto. There's a big gap, and then
Yeah.
piles and piles and piles of shit, and then Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
Oh man.
All right. Well, so obviously, guys, no need to recommend any new franchises, as in the next episode, we will be discussing Batman Returns from, I believe, 1992, if I had to guess.
I think so.
Again, directed by Tim Burton. And obviously, we're going to have Cade on as a guest host for that episode as well. That episode will come out 2 days from now on Thursday. And then, like I said, Batman Forever and then Batman and Robin are going to be on the Cinemadopes podcast. So we're going to be guests on theirs for those 2 movies. Obviously, you guys can. So this episode is going to be specifically reserved for YouTube. So if you obviously like this, subscribe to the channel. It's my personal YouTube channel, former film student. That's where we upload our podcast episodes. Also, I post my own personal content. Haven't uploaded a lot of personal videos recently, but hoping to put out some more in the nearby future. Just been a little bit busy and whatnot. Life gets in the way and everything. So, yeah. But other than that, Josh, if you want to plug our socials, and then Cade, you can obviously plug what you need to plug.
Yeah, guys. So give us a follow over on Instagram at Franchise Deep Dive. That's where you're going to see the most activity there. Best way to interact with us, or if you feel like emailing us, you could do franchisedeepdive@gmail.com. But yeah, like, comment, give us some suggestions, give us your opinions on all these series. Tell us what you like. Let us know where Jack Nicholson ranks for you as your favorite Jokers, where Michael Keaton ranks as your favorite Batman. And just your overall opinions on Tim Burton's take on the Caped Crusader. But yeah, so head over to Instagram, interact with us there, DM us if you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, for Cinemadopes, we also have our own YouTube channel. We're also on like audio platforms like Apple and Amazon and stuff like that. Not Spotify though, because that's a whole other thing. But yeah, we are on those platforms. We have our own Instagram, and I believe we have a TikTok as well for like shorts and stuff. And you can follow us and email us at cinemadopes@gmail.com. It's just fairly easy. Like, comment, subscribe on this video, and also go check out like our own video if you guys want of like myself and like the 3 other dopes talking about '89 Batman, and how some of us don't like the movie at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I wouldn't blame somebody. I if someone didn't like this, I would be fine with that. I'm not that passionate about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, guys. Thank you, Cade, for joining us on this episode of Franchise Deep Dive. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to us discuss Batman '89. And like I said, stay tuned for Batman Returns on the next episode of Franchise Deep Dive. Goodbye.
Wait, Jake, hold on.
Oh,
you forget
my
something.
gosh. Oh my gosh, the question.
You know, this was my escape, and I kind of wanted it. I
Josh,
just realized, I guess I don't dread this part.
Josh had he likes answering questions. He likes it.
I do like it.
All right. So if you guys, thank you, Josh, for reminding me. I forgot that I've been ending the episodes by asking a question, normally to Josh, picked out by me beforehand, that he does not know, and then I give him 20 seconds to answer.
I can't even act like I hate it now. I just did it to myself.
Yeah, he blew it. He blew his facade. But since Cade is our guest, obviously I will ask both of you. I feel like this question is not too hard. You know, I have some easy answers for me personally, but the question is, and then I'll give you guys 20 seconds to answer, is what actor... Yeah, what actor instantly turns you off from watching a movie?
Oh, well, I got mine. I'll wait till Cade has his. I got mine easy. Come on.
All right, you have 20 seconds starting now. You got answers?
Cade's got his.
I
You already got it.
I already
Okay.
got it.
You got it 7 seconds in. All right, Josh. Which actor completely turns you off to a movie?
Tim Allen, not even close. Not
Wow.
even close.
Yeah,
I-
You know, like
I-
Santa
I feel-
Claus.
I can't stand the asshole. I hate him so much. I hate him so much. And I just watched Christmas with the Cranks last night.
Oh,
Why
I
would you
love
do that to
Christmas with the
yourself?
Cranks. Also, it's November. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, it's not my fault. There's not too many Thanksgiving movies.
Hey.
There's just not many.
There's not. There's like
Planes, Trains, and
4.
Automobiles.
That's reserved
that's the
for
one I watch.
Thanksgiving.
I do
That's-
watch that on
yeah.
Thanksgiving. That's my tradition. There's that
We don't
Eli
watch
Roth. There's that Eli Roth slasher.
My thing with Thanksgiving movies is like I wait for like the week of Thanksgiving because there's so few that I really like, so I just watch them all that
Yeah.
week. Maybe Spider-Man in the beginning of November I'll watch.
There you go.
Yeah.
It does got a fall feel to it. Either way,
Oh, it's
Cade,
got
what
the- yeah,
is an
Thanksgiving
act?
scene, yeah.
What is an
My
actor
actor?
that instantly turns you off to a movie?
Jared Leto. Anything if I ever hear the name Jared Leto, I'm like, that movie's gonna bomb. Tron Ares. As soon as I heard he's in that movie's gonna bomb.
It also bombed because it was Tron.
Well, yeah.
So upsetting
like-
though, because like he was so good in Dallas Buyers Club, and I think
That's
he's got the
the-
talent, but like
That's the Matthew McConaughey of him, where he has one
Yeah.
thing that he's been riding on that high ever
Yeah.
since. Ever
I
since
like
that
him
movie,
in Requiem
everyone,
for a Dream. I like Requiem for a Dream.
But like that's the reasoning why he got the Joker role in Suicide Squad was Dallas Buyers Club, and ever since then, stinker
Yeah,
with
they
Morbius
fooled me.
and now Tron Ares. Yeah,
I was so
Are-
excited for him to play Joker, so excited.
Are you trying to say that Morbius is a bad movie?
yes. I will. Hey, another Cinemadopes episode right there. That's another episode you can go check out. Us talking about Morbius and how dog
Josh,
shit
we-
the movie
we-
I
is.
don't
we-
want to.
Oh, Josh.
You don't-
Okay, 2026, Josh. We are doing the Sony villain verse. We are gonna
Oh
do those.
no!
We gotta do them.
Are you including Madam Web in that?
Yes, Madam Web, the Venom movies, Kraven the Hunter. We're gonna knock them all out, baby.
You poor
We're gonna
soul,
hate ourselves
Josh.
doing it.
so much. Oh,
All right, guys. Well,
We
either way,
we only did 3 movies, and we never wanted to go back to that universe ever again.
no, I love talking about some bad movies. It's a pleasure. Gives me a reason to not just watch like pretentious foreign art house movies all the time. I got to throw some garbage in there.
it's just
you know?
getting there. It's like our Friday series. That was so rough after like the second round. And you know what, people, can you please
Yeah.
listen to us so we didn't do it for nothing, please? 'Cause that was like such torture. Oh my goodness.
Yes, please. We're at the point where we need you to listen because we need to feel like this is worth it. Those Friday movies were exhausting, man. They were exhausting.
Sometimes
All
Jake,
right.
you need the cigarette burns with the puff. Sometimes I get you.
Hey, no pain, no gain. Am I right?
Exactly. There you go.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Josh, for reminding me about the questions. I almost signed off without us doing it. Again, Batman Returns next episode. So if you don't want to be spoiled for the next episode of Franchise Deep Dive, make sure to go check that out. It's on HBO Max. I watched my 4K Blu-ray version of it, which looked awesome. So that was fun. But yeah, if you don't have that, HBO Max, I'm sure you can rent it on Amazon or something. And it's probably like every other movie in existence. It's probably on Tubi. So who knows? All right, guys. See you on the next episode of Franchise Deep Dive. Goodbye.
Later, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So